Welcome back to another episode of A Better Way of Earning. I am your host, Dr. Michelle S. Thomas. There are certain topics that people feel but don't always understand. War is one of them. When we hear about conflict, most conversations focus on politics, leadership, national interests. But there is another layer that is rarely discussed in everyday spaces: the economic layer. Today, we're going to talk about something that requires both awareness and care: the business of war. Let's begin with a simple truth. War is not only a geopolitical event, it is also an economic system. Historically, wars have required manufacturing, logistics, technology development, labor, and infrastructure. This creates large scale economic activity. For example, during major global conflicts like World War II, entire industries expanded rapidly to support wartime production. Factories increased output, new technologies were developed, supply chains were restructured. This pattern has continued in modern times. Today, global defense spending reaches into the trillions of dollars annually. Countries allocate specific portions of their budgets towards defense contracts, military technology, infrastructure, cybersecurity. And these funds often move through private companies, contractors, and global partnerships. Now, let's pause and be very clear. This conversation is not about assigning intent or judgment, it is about understanding structure. When large amounts of money move through any system, it creates incentives, industries, dependencies. War, like many large scale global activities, becomes part of an economic ecosystem. So, how does this impact everyday people? In more ways than we realize, war and global conflict can influence job creation in certain industries, shifts in energy and resource pricing, supply chain disruptions, inflation, and government spending priorities. For example, an increased defense spending may create jobs in manufacturing and technology. Disruptions in global trade can impact everyday goods and pricing, and economic uncertainty can influence hiring patterns across industries. This is why global events matter, even if we're not directly involved, because they shape the environment in which we earn. Before we move further into this conversation, I want to pause for a moment because while we're discussing systems, economics, and global structures, there are real people living within these moments. There are individuals currently serving, families with loved ones deployed, parents, spouses, and children navigating uncertainty every single day. And for them, this conversation isn't theoretical. It's personal, it's emotional, it's lived. And that reality deserves to be acknowledged with respect. For many families connected to military service or conflict zones, earning takes on a different meaning. It may look like relying on a structured income system with limited flexibility, managing households independently while a partner is away, navigating uncertainty around stability, safety, and long term planning. There is also the emotional weight of the stress of the unknown, the responsibility of maintaining stability at home, and the impact on decision making, focus, and overall well being. All of these factors directly influence how these people earn, plan, and move in everyday manners. So, before we continue this conversation from a systems perspective, I want to acknowledge and honor those who are directly impacted, not as a statistic, not as a part of an economic model, but just as people. Because understanding the business side of global events is important, but so is recognizing the human experience within them. And both can exist in the same conversation. If you have loved ones that are currently serving or about to be deployed, or you yourself, please, if you have comments, if you have insights, connect with us so that we can not only support and share, but we can also offer clarity to any misconceptions that's out there. We here at A Better Way of Earning thank you for your service. In today's world, we are seeing ongoing global tensions, negotiations, and shifting alliances. These situations often involve economic agreements, resource access, strategic partnerships. And while these decisions may be presented in different ways publicly, they often carry economic implications beneath the surface. Understanding that does not require taking a side, it requires awareness. So, what do we do with this information? Three things. First, stay informed without becoming overwhelmed. Not every headline requires a reaction, but awareness helps you recognize patterns. Number two, watch economic signals. Pay attention to energy prices, supply chain changes, and workforce shifts. These are indicators of broader economic movements. And three, focus on personal positioning. While global systems operate at a large scale, your ability to build skills, diversify income, and remain adaptable is still within your control. Here are 5 practical ways to stay grounded and positioned during economic instability, such as what we're experiencing right now. First, focus on stability before growth. When uncertainty rises, your first goal is not expansion, it's stability. This may look like maintaining consistent income streams, avoiding unnecessary financial risk, and strengthening your current role or contracts. Growth will come, but stability sustains you long enough to reach it. Second, increase your skill visibility, not just your resume. In tighter markets, employers become more selective. It's not enough to say what you've done. You need to show how you think, how you solve problems, how your skills apply in real situations. Position yourself as a solution, not just a candidate. And this is one of the reasons why I created Aecendt Global, so that we move away from just candidate advertising, for lack of better terms, and more of solution driven individuals. I invite each and every one of you to go over to Aecendt Global. The link will be in the information on the podcast. But build your professional profile, amplify, market the skills that you have, and move more into a solution driven individual than just that candidate searching for a job. My third suggestion is diversify how you earn. Economic shifts often impact industries differently. So please consider contract or freelance work, project based opportunities, consulting or advisory roles while you have your steady income, because multiple income pathways creates flexibility during these uncertain times. 4. Strengthen your network before you need this. Now, this is powerful. Opportunities during instability often come through people, not postings. So stay connected by checking with past colleagues, engaging in professional communities, having conversations, not just transactions. Your network is not just your social output, it is your strategic platform for growth and stability. And number 5, most importantly, protect your mental and emotional capacity. Economic instability carries more than just financial pressure. It carries uncertainty, it carries a lot of stress, and it brings on emotional fatigue faster than you've ever experienced before. And all of those things impact your decision making ability. So give yourself space to pause before reacting. And I know that right now someone's listening and thinking, I don't have time to pause because bills are coming in every day, things are due. I have to react. Even in these chaotic times and spaces, build in thought pausing moments, because you'll find that if you really think things through, if you really take time to plan it out, then you can have better solutions with clarity than to just react. Reactions often dig us deeper into holes that we have to take longer to dig ourselves out of. So pause before reacting. Make well informed, not emotional decisions, and stay grounded in what you can control. Clarity, my friends, is a competitive advantage that most people do not talk about. Ask yourself, am I reacting to a global event emotionally, or am I observing them strategically? In one of our other episodes, we talked about investing for the everyday professionals. I will tell you that a lot of expert investors look at the reactions of the stock market to tell what the economic status is when we're in these wartime negotiations. And so, if you are participating in the stocks, go back to the first question that you ask yourself before you sell, before you buy, before you react. Are you reacting to these global events emotionally? Or are you observing them strategically? Take time to really understand the decisions that you're making before you make an emotional decision that you later will regret. Emotional reaction and strategic reaction, both of those are two very different responses. Global events can feel distant until they begin to influence our daily lives. The purpose of today's conversation was not to create fear or assign meaning to any one situation. It was to provide awareness, because awareness allows you to step back, observe clearly, and make decisions that are grounded in understanding rather than reaction. As we close today's conversation, remember this: earning does not happen in isolation. It is influenced by systems, economies, and global movements that are constantly evolving. But within those systems, you still have the ability to prepare, to adapt, and to position yourself with intention. A lot of us do the status quo, especially when we're overwhelmed, when there's so much information coming in and you don't know what to do. You begin to just let things sit. You don't bother them, you don't touch them, you're not evaluating them. We want, at a better way of earning, for you to become more active in your decisions, not just from emotions, not from reactions, but from strategy. The information that we provide is there to help you to know what to dive deeper into, what to explore, what things should impact your decisions, and how to carefully make those decisions. Because earning is more than just your cash. It is about your lifestyle, your legacy, and the longevity of the money that you are bringing into your household. Follow deeper conversations through our podcast and our upcoming talk show. Dive deeper into insights with our blog, The Job Hunt Chronicles, and also explore real opportunities through Aecendt Global Marketplace. Because the goal is not just to understand the world, it is to understand your place within it. Until next time, stay informed, stay prepared, and mostly stay in ownership of your choice.